Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Cory, the real estate guy, and today we want to talk more about prepaids. We have gone through several steps in the buying process. The last one we did was the loan estimate and all the different fees itemized on that document for you. Now we are under contract and we have to make sure that we are utilizing our option period very wisely. So having these funds, which are your prepaids, available before we even start looking at homes is essential to making sure you get the most bang for your buck and we are effective and efficient with the time that we get during this option period. So let's talk about prepaids and what they are. These are your three prepaids: earnest money, option money, and your inspection funds. These are standard and typical for every purchasing transaction for the buyer. Okay, the earnest money is 1% of your sales price. So if you have a $200,000 sales price and that's what you and the seller negotiated, then you have $2,000 that is your earnest money that is to be given in a form of a check to the title company that's going to close the account. It's held in what you call an escrow account, and those funds are held all the way until the closing, where they're then dispersed. And they are part of your closing cost fees, which is added to the down payment that you're responsible to bring. So it is within 3 days of the contract going to be submitted with that offer and sent to the title company, where I take it personally to the title company so they can open up escrow. Then your option money. This ranges, okay? I typically try to keep it at 200 or 250 and below. But what this is this is the funds that you pay directly to the seller. And that's also given with the offer, with the earnest money, 2 separate checks. One goes for the opening of title with your offer, and which is the earnest money, and then one goes directly to the seller. And what you're doing is actually paying them to take their house off the market. Okay, so this is where you get the word option period or option pending. You have paid for a certain amount of time for you to do your inspections, which we're going to talk about next, and to make sure that this is actually the house that you're going to buy. But during that time, you are the only person that is able to purchase that home, because you have given them the option money to take their house off the market for a certain period of time. Okay, it ranges, it's negotiable, and it's paid directly to the seller. And lastly, we have our inspections. Now, this is big. The reason this is big is because here's the time we paid for it. Here's the time that we want to make sure if anything that is alarming or a situation with the house that needs to be addressed, we want to make sure that's documented, and we want to make sure we have proof of that so we can get it addressed and get it handled and see if we can actually get the seller to get that fixed or receive the funds to fix it, or make a decision that it's something that we can live with and fix to it down the road, depending on the severity of the situation. Okay, 350 to 600 is pretty typical here in Texas. You want to get your standard Trek inspection, and that's pretty much a licensed inspector here that is in the state of Texas that does a full 3 to 4 hour analysis of that home, checking everything, all the major components, foundation, roofing, anything that looks like it's off or should have been repaired a while ago, documenting and alerting you to it, what needs to be fixed. Also, you can opt to do a mold inspection, termite inspection, foundation inspection. Anybody that's a veteran and you are receiving a VA loan, termite inspection is required. So these are all the different things that you want to go through throughout this process. So you want to make sure these funds are available as soon as we start looking for houses, because you never know. We can find a house the very first day, and you want to make sure these are available so you can have those funds to get this done. So it's Cory, the real estate guy, and today we talked about prepaids, earnest money, inspection money, and option money.